was supposed to be the perfect house. Big and twit. Suburban. The kind of place people dream about when they think they've finally made it. But sometimes, when a deal looks too good to be true, it's because something is already waiting for you inside. This is the story of 112 Ocean Avenue. And before it became the most famous haunted house in America, it was already soaked in blood. In the early 1970s, Amityville, New York, was everything people wanted back then. Tree-lined streets, nice neighbors, low crime. The American dream, wrapped up in a peaceful Long Island town. And right in the middle of it, sat this massive Dutch colonial house. 5 bedrooms, a finished basement, a boathouse in the backyard, and those 2 attic windows that looked like eyes watching the street. Locals thought it was beautiful, but they also knew something about it that outsiders didn't. Because on November 13th, 1974, that house stopped being just a house. It became a crime scene. That night, a 23-year-old guy named Ronald DeFeo Jr. walked into a bar called Henry's Tavern. He was panicked, shaking, barely making sense. He kept yelling the same thing over and over. "Someone shot my parents. You gotta help me. They're dead." People thought maybe there'd been a robbery or some kind of breaking gone wrong. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for what the police were about to find. When officers arrived at 112 Ocean Avenue, they walked into pure silence. No signs of forced entry, no broken windows, no struggle. They went upstairs. In one bedroom, they found Ronald's parents, Ronald DeFeo Sr. and Louise DeFeo, lying face down in bed, both shot. In another room, his sisters, then his brothers, 6 members of the same family, all shot in their beds, all face down, all killed with a .35 caliber rifle. And here's the part that still creeps people out to this day. None of the neighbors heard gunshots. No one woke up, no one ran, no one tried to escape. It was like the house itself had swallowed the sound. At first, Ronald Jr. claimed the mafia did it. Then he said it was a hit gone wrong. Then his story completely fell apart because the evidence pointed in only one direction: him. The rifle was his. The timeline made no sense if it was intruders. And eventually, Ronald DeFeo Jr. confessed. He said he heard voices. He said something inside the house told him to do it. And just like that, 112 Ocean Avenue became infamous. Ronald was convicted and sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences. The house was cleaned, repainted. People assumed the nightmare was over. They were wrong. Just 13 months later, in December of 1975, a new family moved in. George and Kathy Lutz, and Kathy's 3 kids. They knew about the murders. Everyone did, but the price was unbelievable. A house that should have cost way more sold cheap. George later said that when they first walked in, he felt something he couldn't explain. Like the house was cold, even though the heat was on. But they ignored it. Big mistake. From the very first night, things felt off. Doors slammed for no reason. Cold spots moved through the rooms. Strange smells. Nothing sweet happened, then rotten. George started waking up every single night at 3:15 a.m., the exact time the DeFeo murders were believed to have happened. Every and single night. Kathy said she felt like she was being watched, not just in one room, everywhere. Everywhere. The kids started acting strange too. One of them claimed to have an imaginary friend, a little pig with red, glowing eyes. They called him Jody. George laughed it off at first, until he saw it himself. As days passed, the house seemed to change George. He became angry, obsessive, distant. He stopped caring about work, stopped caring about the family. He just sat in the basement, chopping wood, 4 hours, in the dark. And then came the night. Everything escalated. Kathy woke up floating off the bed, literally levitating. George found doors ripped off hinges, rooms covered in flies, in the dead of winter. A priest who came to bless the house was violently sick. He later said a voice told him to get out, unsoothingly. And the Lutz family realized something horrifying. The house didn't want them there. After only 28 days, they fled, left behind furniture, clothes, everything. They never went back. And when they finally told their story, America lost its mind. Books, movies, investigations. Some people said it was the most terrifying true story ever told. Others said it was all a hoax. But here's the thing. The house is still there, and people who've lived in it since still report strange things. So the question isn't just, was the Amityville Horror real? The real question is, what happened inside that house before anyone ever knew its name?